Today, you will learn everything you need to know about Streamlit to create interactive web application with Python. Streamlit was built specifically for data scientists and machine learning engineers who want to create shareable data apps in pure Python. With Streamlit, you can create web applications without knowing HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. We will cover the basics of Streamlit, including how to create a simple web application, how to add text and input elements, how to display data, and how to create interactive widgets. We will also cover how to deploy your Streamlit applications for free using Streamlit Cloud. To get started, open a new project in your favorite code editor. I'm using VS Code, but for Python, PyCharm is also a popular choice. Then set up your Python environment. I'm going to use a virtual environment for this project. Then we need to install Streamlit with pip. To create a new Streamlit app, first create a new Python file, for example app.py. Then import Streamlit. To run the Streamlit app, use the following command: streamlit run app.py. This will start a local server. Open your default web browser to display the Streamlit app. Since the file is empty, you will see a blank page. Let's add a title to our app. Now, when you refresh the page, you will see the title, My First Streamlit App. Streamlit offers a wide range of elements that we can use to create our web applications. For example, we can also display a header with a paragraph. One of the great features of Streamlit is that it supports Markdown, so you can use Markdown syntax to format your text. If we look at the Browser tab, we see that the title is App. We can change this by setting the page title. Now the title and icon of the page have changed. A simple website with just text is not very exciting. Streamlit allows you to create interactive widgets that users can interact with. For example, you can create a text input field. We can also add a button. In fact, Streamlit offers a wide range of widgets. Here are some examples of widgets you can use in your Streamlit application. Now, the way Streamlit parses your code is by reading it from top to bottom. Your first widget will be at the top of the page, and the last widget will be at the bottom. Here, we have simple widgets like checkboxes, radio buttons, and sliders, as well as more complex widgets like multi-select or select sliders, as well as file uploaders or color pickers. The neat thing about Streamlit is that you only need one line of code to create them, and the styling is done automatically for you. These are not all the widgets that Streamlit offers. You can find more widgets in the Streamlit documentation. Currently, every time we add an element, it's added below the previous element. Sometimes you don't want to cram everything into one column. You might want to split your app into multiple columns. Let's see how we can do that. We first create two columns. Then we add a subheader and a date input to the columns. Streamlit also makes it easy to create a sidebar. We can add a title and text to the sidebar. You can also add more complex elements like a multi-select widget. In addition to displaying text and interactive elements, we can also display media such as images, audio, and video. It's very simple. For example, to display an image, add this line of code. If you want a video, just replace the image with video. Okay, we know how to create simple web applications. What if we want to create a multi-page app? We can do that with Streamlit, and it's very easy. Streamlit follows a common trope here. To get started, create a new folder called Pages and add a new Python file. This will be our page. Then create another file to create our second page. It's important to name the folder pages because that's where Streamlit will look for them. The name and URL of the file will be the title of the page. We can even include emojis. The prefix number in the file name will determine the order of the pages, but the number will not show up in the app. Inside the text page, add the following code. And inside the media page, copy the code from the main file. Then change the main file to include two link buttons to navigate to the new pages. Refresh the page and you should see that the app now has 3 pages that we can navigate to. Notice how a sidebar is automatically added to the app even though we didn't add it to the main file. This is because Streamlit automatically adds a sidebar when there are multiple pages. But the real power of Streamlit comes when we want to display data. In fact, Streamlit was created exactly for this purpose. Create a new page for displaying data. Before we can even display data, we first need data. Let's create a simple dataset. Here we import pandas and NumPy and create a simple dataset with product names, regions, and sales data. NumPy is used to generate random numbers for the sales data, and we use pandas to create a data frame from the data. Now let's display the data. Add this one line of code. We now have a simple static table. We can also make it interactive. Simply change table with data frame. This time we have an interactive table where we can sort the columns and highlight specific cells. We can also resize the columns, search for specific values, and even download the data as a CSV file. With just a few lines of code, we have created a simple data table that is interactive and user-friendly. And we didn't have to write a single line of HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. It's all done with Python. Apart from tables, Streamlit also allows you to display data in other formats such as charts. Let's see how we can do that. Create a new page for our charts. Streamlit supports a wide variety of chart types. It's easy to implement, as you can see, with just one line of code. Let's try to do a scatter plot on a map. Import Streamlit, pandas, and NumPy. I will also set a header for the page. First, we create a random set of latitude and longitude values to plot on a map. Streamlit will automatically plot the points on the map. If we look at the app now, we can see a bunch of points on the map over New York City. Creating an area chart is just as simple. Here we create a random dataset with 3 columns. Then we create an area chart with the data. If we go back to the app, we can see the area chart below the map. And that's it. It's super easy to create charts because Streamlit was designed for data scientists and machine learning engineers. While it may not support all the features of other frameworks for building web applications, but its simplicity and ease of use make it a great choice for creating simple data apps. Deploying and sharing a Streamlit app is also very simple. First, you need to create an account on Streamlit, then publish the app on a repository like GitHub. When you go to your app again, you can hit the deploy button at the top right corner. This will prompt you to either deploy the app on Streamlit Community Cloud, which is free, or on your own server. Click on Streamlit Community Cloud and then follow the instructions. You can also log into Streamlit Cloud and deploy the app from there. Streamlit will push the code directly from your repository to the cloud. And that's it. You now know everything you need to know about Streamlit to get started building interactive web applications with Python. Great for those who don't know much about web development, but it's also great for showcasing data or quickly building MVPs for AI applications. I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing. If you'd like me to go over specific topics, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.